Jai Mongol everyone. I am Pradesh Mongol Meche from Mechi Nagatri, Jhapa, Nepal. And as you all know that I have been continuously reciting the book Hidden Facts in Nepalese Politics in the audio clip as well as in the video clip too. And today I am going to recite the third part of the book. And to everyone who had listened the first and the second part of the book, I would like to thank them all, and now I would like to cordially request everyone to listen the third part. Now I am trying to read the book. I had reached in the page number 9, and in the second paragraph I had reached. Now I am continuing to read. Sanskrit is introduced as a compulsory subject in schools from the primary level onwards, resulting in the strangling of the mother language of our children. It has become an excuse to fail our children in this subject, so that dropout and laggards would easily prevail, whereas the Bahun children would get through easily and be more able to capture all the good posts from the bottom to the top. Ironically, our Mongol representatives have never dared to raise voice in the house for our good cause, but have supported the expanding of the Sanskrit campus and universities. Even Radio Nepal and Nepal television never included Mongol program but wasted time playing cheap records. Radio Nepal and NTV never included Buddhist program, Christian and Muslim program. The Panchayat system has always aggrandized the publicity of the Hindu religion and culture under the banner of one nation and one religion. And the same thing has repeated at present in so-called multi-party system. At the expense of national revenue, the arbitrary rulers are crushing the Mongol people, Muslims and Christians all alike. Having the political power in their hands, they have the police force, army force and emissary in their control, making it easy for them to play their own cards. They manipulated the government policy and finances accordingly. They praise the land of Buddha in foreign countries and talk highly about peace, at the same time begging like beggars, but in practice they sabotage internal peace by demolishing Buddhist temples that are under constructions and never preaching Buddhist teachings on Radio Nepal program. Only Hindu ideology is preached on morning programs. Even after restoration of so-called multi-party system and democracy, other religions are suppressed. For example, newly built Buddhist temple was destroyed near Bhairava. Christian organizations are not registered. It happens here till Nepal remains Hindu kingdom. We aboriginal Mongol people and they are only the organization, Mongol National Organization, once secular country, full-fledged human rights, but so long there is king, there can't be no secular country. The King of Nepal is the king of minority Hindus only. Once they conspired to demolish a Buddhist stupa constructed by Gurung in Pokhara and put him in jail. Well, the pet crooks of the Hindus beat a Japanese monk mercilessly and thus defamed the good name, the land of Buddha outside Nepal. At the time, the local zonal commissioner was a Bahun whose name was Anandaraj Pathak. Because of his communal act of demolishing a Buddhist stupa, he earned the merit of holding a high government post for good. Through its different publicity media, His Majesty's government widely publicized, fabricated, and misleading reports regarding this communal event, incurring the resentment of all Buddhist organizations. Eventually, Reb Shanti Sugei, the in charge of India Nepal Buddhist organizations, gave a statement on the 6th of October 1974 against the false allegation charged by the government to the Japanese monks and described it showing a rare incident in the history of Buddhism. It is nothing but a planned attack on Buddhists by His Majesty's government. A few years back, the Nagar Panchayat of Butwal had pulled down all the pillars of a Buddhist monastery which was under construction, being financed by a social Gurung community. When the situation became tense, at the response of the local people, they reluctantly allowed the pillars to be put back on their foundations. But in the dark of the night, the authorities, along with some Bahuns, put up a wooden post for the slaughterings of animals during Hindu festival sacrifices. The Gurung community, along with the local people, strongly objected against such an unsocial activity, and consequently the Hindu priest dared not to hold any sacrificial ceremonies on the premises of the non-violent monastery. If they openly suppress the religious activities of the Buddhists in the land of Buddha, what about the activities of the Christians and other religions? Yet, the Hindu officials of Nepal have always presented misleading reports to the world, falsely claiming Nepal as a Hindu kingdom based fictitious population data in which 90% of the total population is falsely claimed as Hindus. They know that all top ranking officials belong to their caste, and therefore they don't worry about their license for corruptions. When I wrote in my weekly paper demanding secular nation, Deb Bahadur Keshi, then Rashtriya Panchayat member from Dang, tabled a demand of action against me in the assembly because he did not want to accept the fact that the religions as well as the yearly calendar of Nepal are not national in the true sense of the word but foreign. One day they will pay very clearly for their oppressions of the aborigines, for their number is 20% of the total population. The privileged class of the Hindus are the Bahuns and Kshetris. Sahar, Rana, Singh and Rajput of Tarais are Kshetris. There are Magar and Tharu, Rana, and there are Singh in Newar. The Kami, blacksmith, Damai, tailor, Sarki, cobbler, Mater, street cleaner, Gaine, street singer, and Janajati, nomad are Hindu subcaste ordered by their birth. They are untouchable. Even Bahuns and Kshetris become Hindus only after observing certain religious ceremony. Here, 80% of the people of the total population are non-Hindus, most of whom are Buddhists, and a few of them are Muslims and Christians. But Rais, Limbus, Gurungs, Magars, Nevars, Sherpas, Lepchas, Tamangs, and other Mongol tribes have their own traditional faiths and practices. So, when the monotonous, deceiving slogans of the Hindu religion, the Hindu nation, the Hindu calendar, the Hindu caste, and the Hindi language and Hindi script become intolerable for the majority non-Hindu people, then the king will have to face a crucial question: will he be a king of only the minority Hindus, or the king of the majority non-Hindus also. If he is the king of the 80% non-Hindus as well, then it is quite natural for them to seek their rights, or else their reverence towards the royalty will be questionable. On the first day of January 1994, addressing to a mass meeting of Mongol National Organization at Kuti Hawa near Bhairava, Gopal Gurung, the founder president of MNO Central Assembly, advised to the king to remain as a lifelong president and announce Nepal a secular country. Some Mongol non-Hindu persons have become Hindus by accepting the lowest Sudra creed. Sudra means foot. They are counted as an insect, grasshoppers, and animals. Some such ignorant Sudras invite bound priests to perform their rituals on important occasions like birth, marriage, festivals, and death. A Bahun priest is called a Baje in Nepali. Literally, it means grandfather or an old man. These Sudras and the subcaste bow their head to the feet of the Bahun. Bahun is the supreme caste of all Hindus. They taught Sudras forefathers to address them Baje, irrespective of their age. The father and brother of the Christian religion have to study before attending their religious titles, but the Bahun Baje becomes Sudra's grandfather by birth and makes other foods. The Hindus bow to them and drink the filthy water from the washings of Bahun's feet. Generations after generations of them have exploited us and made us slaves of their communal politics and customs. When will our people wake up against such vile, dominating practices and learn to live like a man? Two non-Hindus who accepted Sudra caste identity and defamed our Mongol race were Dilman Singh Thapa, a Mogar from Senja districts, and Padma Sundar Laoti, a Limbu from Panstar district. They were tempted and sold out their souls, losing their self-identity and social status. An influential Gurung lady protested against their actions and allocated a fine against all the Bahun priests who had conducted this vile ritual. Nepal is a strange country where anti-national religion, calendar, mantra of Vedic taste, and scriptures is transformed into a national asset, and the genuine local elements into anti-national elements. One of the Mongol scripts, or Newari scripts, was approved in the UNO, whereas the Hindi script of Indian origin has been in vogue as the national script. A great number of people are Buddhist in Nepal. Lord Buddha was from Nepal and he was a pure Mongol. Buddhism is absolutely different from Hindus, and Hindus are against Buddhism. He was a Tharu, a branch of Mongol blood. His renunciation was not because of his seeing an old person, a sick person, and a dead person. He was against the prevailing caste system and revolted against the discriminating Hindu religion that preached hate and disparity among human beings. The Lord Buddha was always for human equity, the very same viable ideology of the Mongol race since its dawn of history, but continually crossed and distorted by the Hindus, though without much success. The Buddha's father was misled and appointed into this Hindu cult, and the Lord Buddha became a prince of the kingdom, was not in the position of a commoner to be hanged, nor was he allowed to preach against Hinduism in the kingdom. So the conspirators exiled him and their prejudiced historians presented the Buddha's early life in a nihilistic and flowery manner that we have been bound to study in our school curriculums. The Buddhist philosophy and principles do not tally with the Hindu religion, and they contradict Bahunism not only in Nepal but also in some other places. The political leaders with vested interests claim that Buddha was an incarnation of the Hindu god Vishnu. Buddha himself did not believe reincarnation. It seems conspirators tried Hinduize to Buddhism. The birth anniversary of the Lord Buddha is wrongly dated in Nepal's calendar. It should be on the 8th of April. The Lord Buddha's fathers, Suddhodhan, Suddha is equals to pure and Dhan is equals to petty, had nuptial relations with his aunt's daughters, and the Buddha's wife was his uncle's daughter. This custom is found prevalent among the Mongol tribes like the Tamu, Tamang, Mogor and Sunwar. The Lord Buddha was from Nepal, but Buddhism did not become the national religion of Nepal. Instead, the religion brought by the refugees of India became the national religion of Nepal, whereas India itself is a secular country. The national calendar Bikram Sambat that was established in memory of an Indian king was brought in by these Hindu colonists. Not only that, an important so-called national mantra itself has endangered the sovereignty of our nation by merging Nepal into India as a buffer state. This Sanskrit mantra says that the segment of Bharat lies in the Jambu continent, and in this segment lies India, and Nepal is a part of India. It clears us who are national and who are anti-national. The gist of their mantra is such: Jambu Dipe Bharat Khande Nepal Dese. Previously, they used to say Kirata dynasty. This mantra or holy slogan is a part of a Hindu prayer brought by the colonists during the Mughal and Muslim invasions and rule in India, and unquestionably challenges the sovereignty of Nepal. The Hindus visit Kashi for their last breath, or if that is not possible, they go to deep ash remnants of the dead Hindu in the holy river Ganges. Does this prove their national feelings? Rather, they preach to us about nationality and try to fool us with their witty remarks. The Hindu historians have written a fictitious story about a sage named Nimoni and have derived the name of Nepal from him. On the way to Pokhara, there is a cave near the Mauli. They spread the rumor that it was the cave of a sage named Vyas, the author of Vedas. Narharinath, one of those so-called Hindu historians of Nepal, has that license to misguide our people. The word Nepal was actually derived from a Tibetan word Nebal. It has been noted in Tibetan and Chinese historical statements that the Tibetan rulers of 7th and 8th centuries were very powerful and had brought Nepal, Sensi, Urumqi and Kuncha under their domination. Kathmandu's ancient Nepal was Nepal. In the 8th century, Jayapait, a king of Kashmir, invaded Nepal and became a captive of the local ruler Armudi. Armudi was a Tibetan name. Suniti Kumar Chatterjee, the chairman of the Asiatic Society and a professor of the Calcutta University has verified this historical fact. In the Tibetan language, Nepal means a house of wool. Nationality is superficial in Nepal, which claims to the outside world that Nepal is zone of peace. If Nepal really wants peace, it must stop to bartering away its mercenaries who are misused in disrupting the peace and order of countries by shouting their citizens or by sacrificing themselves insignificantly. There should be provisions of food, clothes, and shelters for these mercenaries who come back to the motherland after a long absence in other services. These stranded citizens should be brought back home from other countries. The sale of manpower through foreign recruits must be stopped. Today I am reciting up to page number 17, and I would like to cordially request all of you to listen it and respond us. Now I will be presenting you the fourth clip next time, and thank you very much for listening. Jai Mongol.